and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football. So are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Rodgers now on first down. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. Linval Joseph. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
You gonna see me and you know. Hey, exit. Mike 54. Mike 54.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick-6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick-6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Hey, Charlie. Here we go.
Now Rodgers to try again after the pick-6. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Stephen Weatherly. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Mike, 55.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here's J.K. Scott now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And we'll see what he can do on the return. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up first and 10 at the 40.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Kill, kill, kill.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard.
Check girls, check girls, check girls.
Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the third down stop.
Hey, check Mike 46. Check Mike 46.
Back to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys to try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
At the 2-yard line.
Blue 58. 54. Hey, watch the slant. Hey, switch gears.
On second down, it's Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Go. Hey, team 6. Team 6.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And this is Cook with a grab. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down.
Hey, Alpha.
Mike 46. 46, boys, 46. 46 to Mike.
Big rip.
He'll drop to throw. And he finds Cook. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Set up. 50. Plant.
Check Mike 46. I got him. Switch.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
Set. 30 base.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Go.
Now back to throw. Flush to his right. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. A toss to Cook. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Pilot. 64. Weak. Squeeze. Shoot.
Here is Cook on 3rd and goal. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. Let's think here. You're still just in the 2nd quarter. You taking the 3 points?
I am taking the 3 points, and I'm just relying on my defense here. Show me I have a little confidence in them, and let the offense know, nice drive. Come back next time. We'll go get 6 then, but for now, we'll take the 3.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? when they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Let's go.
Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Stephen Weatherly picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. He's got a man complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 39 yards there, a big one. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, take 26. 55. 5.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 27-yard line.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But
under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Boom! That's how we do it.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Finding room to the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
We own it. Get 300. Get to the 15.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
First down. 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try to run it in with Jones. And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his first touchdown of the new season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
6-yard gain brings up 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
They're running it. Hey, high 7. 36. Oh, here we go. Oh, let's go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
46 to Mike. Hey, lock it. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. Check. Get it.
2nd and 10. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
First down, Vikings.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
He's not going to get me. Show her that.
22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. Mike Daniels makes the tackle. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
At the 28-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, Z. Let's go. Hey, let's get there.
Ready.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
They can't stop us.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Let's get this.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll throw now on the final play. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. But they will not be able to capitalize as time has run out here on the first half of play. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Ready, set.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
6 brings up 2nd and 4 at the 34-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Check. Lucky.
6-6. Bullet high. Now. Hey, orbit. 5.
They'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Darnell Savage, the rookie from Maryland. We're holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half. Those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. It's the 2 F's for a rookie quarterback. Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
158. Jump out.
You can't block me.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Go, go.
Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Watch the run.
26.
Mike, 54.
Rodgers going to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Cook following the penalty. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Go, tackle, let's go. We got this. We got this. Check 24. Check 24.
Recon, 132 fighter. Yes, yes.
Check 52.
Hit it.
On the ground, it's Cook. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
And what's the leg?
Hey, echo.
Check Mike 46. Check Mike 46. No gain on this either.
Here's 2nd and 8. That'll be complete to Cook. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
They're going to look to throw. And avoids the contact by sliding. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before and realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Easy. Hey, Zoo.
Watch the before. Let's go, baby. They turn over. Get that ball.
Rodgers now throwing again. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken at the 18. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Ready.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Smooth. Leo. Ready.
They'll look to throw here. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Tight dog, 61, matchbox lights.
Kill, turn up. Kill, turn up.
A 10th carry of the game for Cook. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. They'll set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Zadarius Smith drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Mark 55, Mark 55.
Check pass, check pass. Hey, check 24, check 24.
Over.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Let's get the ball.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4.
Line 54. Oh, yeah. Hey, check 26.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that's complete. It's Ellington. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Bruce Ellington, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers get a score closer. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Check, crunch, Greystone, travel. Shoot.
They run it again with Cook. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
You got it. You got it.
The tackle made there by Kyler Fackrell. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
46, boys. Now.
On 3rd down, and drop to throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kyler Fackrell able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Matt Weil now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Here's Matt Weil now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career, and he's going to need another one right now. To throw on 2nd and 10. Rodgers, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Only 2 there on the dump-off. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Packers on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Rodgers. And Adams has it complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Second and long. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. And Diggs has it. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot,
Here we go.
They're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
As we get you reset, and no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
319.
54.
Run right.
Get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
Watch twins.
Stay right.
Watch twins.
My alpha. 319.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 4th quarter score now from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A win would be their 2nd on the young season.
Check 3, check 3, check 3.
Look at me. Zipper. Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
46 to Mike. 46.
Ready?
That one looks like he'll throw here. He sets to fire deep. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling, but inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.